Hello, hello, and a good Wednesday evening to one and all. That's you and you and you. Short talk in the trailer with the old guy. We happen to know who that would be. That's me. My name is Mike. Come on in, sit down, smoke a cigar or a pipe or whatever you got. Except I don't have any cigarettes around here. I had some earlier. I don't know what I did with them. It's good to see you again. I guess I've been kind of a little slack on doing vids because, well, you know, I kind of talked about that some last time a little bit with the, gosh, I don't know what it is. There's this weird overlay of depression or just kind of dank thoughts or something like that right around kind of from about, you know, the 12 days of Christmas and my true love brought to me or whatever. I never have figured out whether that means 12 days before or after Christmas. Never mind that. It kind of from 12 days before Christmas, we'll call it the 13th, and gosh, all the way through the end of the year, I just kind of felt so down and just without energy and just, oh my gosh, I'm kind of done. And I've been, you know, looking around and thinking, well, look at the stuff that's going on around us. And it just like, what more comment do I need to make? I mean, if you understand, as I hope you do, that reason is reason and logic is logic and truth is truth, and these categories will kind of operate for you if you'll just stay inside the bounds there. What we've got out there in the world right now is just nuts. It's just nuts, man. They're talking all kinds of, oh, I don't even know what this is all about. The LGBTQRQL $! Exclamation point people, or wherever they are, the federal government of the United States is actively pushing this agenda. Were you aware of how this has even infiltrated the military of the United States of America? And what a big push this was in the Ukraine, and what a big push they tried to make in the rest of Eastern Europe. And some of those countries like Romania said, no, we're not playing that game. Hungary said, no, we're not playing that game. And Poland, too, same thing. And so you have a situation where all this queer sex stuff is being portrayed as somehow recently deemed normal. And oh, by the way, the Epstein lists. It sounds like there might be something actually breaking loose. Big secret here. Nobody knew this. That guy that was elected in '92, he's on the list over 50 times. What a pervert. I mean, you got to look at these people. What's her face? The Hillary. I mean, basically what she's been doing for at least the last 3 decades that I'm aware of has been standing in, defending, and making excuses for, and driving off accusers of a serial rapist, namely the something president in the United States. Slick. The folks in Arkansas tried to warn the American public about this guy, but nobody bought it. And we're still paying the dues on that one. But worse than that is the so-called regime which emerged post-Bush 2. Young Bush, the son of Bush. And I wasn't a big fan of that guy either. But the thing is that when Hatrack Orama became the Presidente, things went up, nosedive. And I honestly believe that this so-called Biden administration is actually an Orama installation. That he's the guy making the calls. He's the one calling the shots. And dummy over there, he just stands in there and makes noises. Well, that's my take. But thinking about things sometimes, I'm just thinking, you know, what we have here is a situation, right? And it's a spiritual situation, because really what's going on is spirits are running amok. We're looking at what looks to me like an invasion, an overthrow. We've been overrun. There was a famous battle in the north of Vietnam. I think it was in the late 50s. So I hope I'm right on that. Dien Bien Phu. Look it up. Dien Bien Phu was a terrible overthrow for the French Foreign Legion, the French army, the French military. I don't know who all was there. But it was such a wild situation that the Vietnamese, and I'm not going to bother calling them North, South, I don't care about that. The Vietnamese, when they came in, I mean, these guys were just amazing. They carried in the pieces and the parts and the stuff they needed to rebuild their artillery on site. They didn't have to tow it up the hill. What? Who saw that coming? And when they came in against the French soldiers who were, snuggled in there with sandbags and machine guns and whatnot, they just overran them. There was too many to shoot. There was too many of them to hose down. There's this crazy game that always shows up as a video ad on my YouTube feed where you have this guy standing around the middle of a road with a cannon or something. I don't know what this thing is. And he's blowing up stuff. And he dances over here and then he scores points. Suddenly there's two of them out there. And if they jump through another hoop, pretty soon they got super powered guns and there's three of them. And well, anyway, the more they hop up their, so to speak, effectiveness to hose them down, the more the hordes come in. Eventually, the shooters always get squashed. Everyone I've ever seen. I haven't bothered to download that thing. I probably won't bother to, but it is fun to kind of watch these dumb things. They last about 30 seconds. And when you think about an overrun, and an overrun such that the defenders can't load their guns fast enough. Oh, that was a heck of a fight. And the Vietnamese, there's some cagey, strong, smart warriors. You got to respect them. But when you're willing to sacrifice people like that, that shows there's got something going on up here. You know what I mean? So there's a weird dialectic involved where we're seeing things that are plainly barbarous, plainly wicked, plainly evil being palmed off as just normal. Stuff comes out of the sock every day. Who has any opposition to this? And so you have drag queens, telling stories to little kids, and then that kind of goes downhill from there. You have children being sold, bought and sold in the United States of America. No prosecution, no influence by the law or by the state. Just let that business go. We're going to let it go under the radar, right? That and worse, that and worse. And what we're looking at then is a kind of a complete moral failure, a complete ethical failure. And so in all of this, what we have is a situation where, wouldn't it be great if you were just hopeless? Wouldn't it be great if you could just look at that and say, well, I give up. I give up, man. Things are horrible. Wouldn't that be great? Yes, you should go there. Go give up. Raise your hands before Jesus. Come out with your hands up. Put your weapons down. Come out of your little cave and tell them the truth. We don't have any excuses for the things we've done. They're horrible. And we humans, I mean. And looking ahead to pure and furious justice coming in, we simply cannot tolerate it. We cannot tolerate real justice because even we are aware of how condemned and corrupt we are. In fact, that's the real problem, isn't it? Believing that God could care for even such as I. I can see how maybe God might care about Mother Teresa or somebody, somebody who's like real holy and they glow in the dark and stuff. But a guy like me, no, come on, I'm just an old failure. And so everybody's doing something like that right there, right? They're saying maybe the blessings are for someone else. And so that's okay. You can pray that other people would be blessed. But the blessing you really need right now is the blessing of Jesus Christ in your heart. And the sense, the presence, His Spirit in us, conveying His Word and the meaning, the interpretation thereof, and the application into our world. The application is justice is coming, and there is no escape. Seek the refuge of the cross. See, the church used to know this stuff. The church used to preach this stuff. I swear it's true. But you ain't going to hear it no more. Not around here. You're not going to hear it in a church you can go find. So go read history. Read the ancients. Read the holy books. Read Augustine. John Calvin. Try John Calvin. Institution of the Christian religion. Not the institutes. Institution. Go find that one. The young, zealous John Calvin in his 20s. I have a copy on the shelf, I hope. I hope I didn't give it away. The institution, which later became the institutes. People hate John Calvin. But go read what John has to say. I think you might be stirred up some. You might like him. Even against your will. That boy needs a press agent bad. So here's the deal. I'm going to wrap it up and let her go. I was looking at a video about ultra-terrestrials is what the guy was calling them. And apparently there's this guy in 67, I can't remember his name, who he began to notice that there was a strange parallel between extraterrestrial UFO sightings and what we would call occult or paranormal occurrences, say ghosts showing up, objects moving across the room for no apparent reason, various what we would call poltergeist activity. And he noticed there was a strange parody there. That's weird. And so this goes right back to this, and I hope you get this out of here. I've heard of stories of people, and I've never been involved in this, and I want no part of it, but the abductions, UFO abductions. There have been people, human men and women, who during an abduction event said, "In the name of Jesus, this ends now." And it did. Poof, they all went away. Just disappeared, vanished like smoke. You can end an abduction event by introducing the true king, the real author, the living one, the guy who came to find you, your maker, your inventor. Come on. What's wrong with you if you can't understand that the one who made you loves you? Then do you know anything? And in the UFO phenomenon, which is going to surround us more and more in the days coming, you watch, there's going to be a phony UFO invasion. Good cop, good alien, bad alien head trip. And guess who we're siding with, supposedly on Earth, is the good aliens? Guess who that is? That's the locals. They've been stirring this up forever. The ultra-terrestrials. They ain't extra, ultra. They live down there. But they're busting out. And they're busting out big time. There's a worldwide release of these things. I mean, people are seeing these things all over the world. And the, so to say, the stench, the odor, the traumatic whiff of hell that comes with it looks like corruption, sounds like fraud, sounds like sexual perversion, sounds like lies, sounds like murder, and every other work of evil that goes along with it. Isn't that coincidental? You have a meeting, a meld of two ideas in the world. Ultra-terrestrials, creatures that live down there, and demons. Well, I say it's demons. Call me ignorant, call me a redneck, I don't care. The thing is in the war against demons, let's face it, there are a lot more. One of them demons is more powerful than 100 men or 1,000 men, I don't know. But in Christ Jesus, everything changes. By the power of the Lamb, we cast them out and break them. We knock their teeth out. We chain them and we drive them down. He has the authority, and he's given it to you. So be bold, be brave, be courageous. Things are going to get weird, weird, weird. But you're the normal one. You're the light in the dark. You're the safe place in the strangeness. You're the one who can control himself or herself when everybody else is losing their mind. He gives you a new opportunity to live. So live it up. Step right in and soak up that supernatural love. Because it's a new and living way that he's called us into. It isn't some set of rules. It isn't some orthodox schmorthodox. But, you know, I know all the right answers. Shut up. Get out of here. He's lifting people up right off the curb, right out of the gutter. And he's turning them into kings and queens and princes. He loves his daughters, his sons. He's the best. So you go bear testimony of him, the true and the living one. In the midst of this madness, in the midst of this chaos, he rules. He owns the place if you didn't know. There's no getting around it. Nobody's going to outsmart this guy. Nobody's going to outmaneuver this guy. And nobody could possibly overpower him. And they're going to get so stupid that they're going to try to overpower him. And an actual physical grudge match. They want to get into a slugfest with the Son of God. Oh, talk about stupid. They know their days are numbered, and they know they are condemned, and they know they shall go down into that flaming, horrible place. Don't you go with them. That's why he came, don't you see? To bring you back to himself, away from them lunatics and perverts and stuff. He loves you better than you know you. He loves you better than you could examine anything to find in you. He loves you from an angle you could not have guessed at, from on high. And he won't be topped. Not in this world, not in the next, that's for sure. He's the best. So, on a Wednesday night, think this way. Things are going to get weird. Guess what? I'm the one they call normal. Oops, I better get good at it. Have a good day, and God bless. Bye-bye.